guys, welcome to the jungle, coming at you again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Schneider Skink, or Humacy Schneideri. Now, there's really not a lot of information about these guys online. That's another reason why I thought I'd do a nice little video on them. In my opinion, these are a really great alternative to one of the beginner lizards, such as say your bearded dragon or your leopard geckos. I've kept both of those species, and if I'm being honest, these guys surpass them in every way. You know, their personality, their handleability, feeding, care, and everything. You know, I suppose the only downfall of them is the vast majority, pretty much all of them in captivity. Well, in the UK anyway, that's all I can really speak for the UK market. Are wild caught. They're notoriously hard to breed. I was very lucky last year that I actually had 3 eggs, and I've still got the babies now. They've done really well. Fortunately, I wasn't able to replicate that success this year. But, you know, it's all a learning curve. So there's really not a lot of information about them online, which is a shame, really. But in the other respect, I hope to learn more about these guys for keeping them. In the wild, these guys will be found North Africa all the way across to Western Central Asia, you know, places like Egypt, Libya, Iran, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all that kind of neck of the woods. And they'll really enjoy habitats where it's dry and sandy, rocky, dry bushes to hide around, rocky outcrops to hide in between. They're a terrestrial species. They'll spend the time on the ground. They will, you know, climb short bits of rock or little branches every now and again, but just kind of looking around. They'll spend a lot of their time. Ooh, as you see, they can be a bit adventurous. They'll spend a lot of their time underneath the substrate. That's probably down to the fact of where they come from. It's incredibly hot. Underneath the substrate will allow them to have a cool area to hide away from, and also at night time they'll sleep there, which also probably offers them protection from predators as they're harder to find. I found keeping these guys with a hot spot of anywhere between 95 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit does just fine. And your core side can go right down to room temperature around 21 degrees Celsius. That tends to do alright for them. Feeding these guys is very simple. A lot of places will say that they're omnivorous. I'd agree with that, but I'd say that they favour heavily more towards the insectivore side of the spectrum. These guys, especially my group, their favourite by far is Mario worms. They go absolutely crazy for them. It's great seeing them. They chop down, shake them around. It's like a little monitor lizard, just breaking them down, making sure they're not going to cause them any problems. They'll also take crickets. I occasionally give them waxworms as a treat. Locusts as well. They'll take pretty much any kind of invertebrate. The only kind of fruit or vegetable matter I've seen them take is banana, which I will give them on occasion, and they seem to enjoy chomping down on that. I've read a few cases of people saying that they'll also eat dog food. I think that's more of a general thing across skinks. I wouldn't personally feed dog food unless I had to. Say I had an animal that was quite heavily underweight. But I mean, you know, because if you've got something that's eating the bugs fine and it's perfectly healthy, then I wouldn't really bother with the dog food. You want to provide these guys a small shallow water dish, keep them hydrated. They'll do just fine with that. UV as well, essential for any diurnal species, especially lizards, or insectivore species, or anything that doesn't really get any bone matter in their diet mainly. So the UV is essential, much like your bearded dragons, uromastics, to help them survive. As I said, that's just a very brief, quick video on these guys. Just thought I'd introduce them to you. This is my largest male, for anyone who's interested. It's very hard to tell the difference between males and females with these guys. The main thing is slight variances in the head shape. Apart from that, there's not a great deal. I'm very lucky with this guy though, is he does have a full tail. These guys will drop their tails. They will regrow, however. This is, you know, beautiful example, especially being wild caught. I'm pretty sure all two of the four I've got have got regrown tails. A couple of nicks from living in the wild. A couple of toes missing, but that's kind of, you know, standard for any lizard really. Especially someone that lives in a dry habitat. You know, I'm sure a lot of you with leopard geckos have noticed some issues with that. But as you know, they'll get on just fine with that. But yeah, anyway, just thought I'd do a quick little video on that. Introduce you guys to the wonderful species that are Schneider Skinks. And yeah, hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.